Okey, Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi kepada penceramah dan peserta yang dihormati. So before kita startkan sesi pada pagi ini, saya nak para peserta yang hadir boleh invite rakan-rakan untuk masuk ke dalam webinar ini. So sebelum kita mulakan sesi ini, saya ingin memaklumkan kepada peserta yang baru masuk, sila mutekan anda punya mic dan sila silentkan phone anda jika berdekatan, sebab kami tidak mahu apa-apa gangguan semasa taklimat dijalankan ada gangguan untuk penceramah menyampaikan taklimat tersebut. Okey. So Encik Zahid, kita mau tunggu peserta dahulu atau kita boleh start directly, sir?
I'm sorry, I couldn't get you for a while. Can you say that again?
Okey, saya nak kita tunggu candidate dahulu ke atau kita boleh mulakan?
Oh no, kita tunggu. So let's come to. There should be around. We're expecting 100 lebih kan berapa?
Okey, kalau untuk based on pada data yang kami ada, ada dalam 264 peserta. So it's up to sir, kita nak start on what time? Maybe around 5:09 AM. Is it okay for you?
I can normally what I do is I wait until 10 minutes past that, then I'll start no matter what. So
Okay.
let's give them some time. They are not probably used to this whole video conferencing. I'll just give them time, and I can pass on. I have no issues with the timing.
Okay,
So
alright.
I'll start at 9 or 10 sharp. Okay, so I'll take myself a break as well now, and then I'll be back.
Okay, around 9:10 AM, I will start the introduction. Is it okay for you?
Yes, it's fine for me. Then by whatever happens, 9:15 kita akan mulakan.
Alright, okay, alright, so
Okay,
noted.
good. Thank you. No worries.
Okay. Yeah, hi Mr. Zai.
The mute, sorry.
Hey, it's okay, it's okay.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you a few questions. One of them is this. Bila dalam saya punya presentation,
Mm-hmm.
saya ada tempat yang ada activity lah sikit saja macam nak tanya question, nak tanya soalan. So I'm assuming that you're going to put all the audience on mute, kan?
Yup. Okay, so nanti kalau untuk sesi soal jawab sama ada akan diadakan di akhir sesi. Kalau semasa taklimat dijalankan, jika kandidat ada letakkan ada bertanya
Soalan dalam
soalan.
chat.
Yes. So nanti kita akan jawab di akhir sesi nantilah, dan nanti it's up to sir, kita akan buka ruangan untuk soal jawab.
Yes,
Nanti
because
kita,
you see, my interaction is that I do knowledge verification while I'm doing the presentation pun. So memang presentation saya interaksi, dia ada activity yang memang kena buat juga macam soalan. So where do you think this will go to and all of that? So ada just put it unmute and atau yang cara saya buat is raise hands. So siapa pun ada raise hand, you boleh pilih, and then and you let them do it. So just while you're following my presentation, you'll be listening in as well. So I will give you cue. I'm like, okay, please open audio, or I'll suggest check.
sebab
Yeah.
kalau yang guna Webex ni sebab memang kalau peserta yang masuk dia akan memang akan automatically mute, tapi jika dah sampai sesi untuk sesi soal jawab tu, misalnya seperlukan maklum balas daripada kita punya peserta, dia orang boleh unmutekan balik lah sir.
Okay, and that would be you, kan?
Tak, dia orang boleh unmute sendiri.
Boleh unmute sendiri. Okay,
Yep.
bagus. I will just say, anyone please answer question. All right.
Okay, alright.
Thank you for letting me know.
Okay, alright. So I will start
5
the
more minutes.
introduction.
Yeah.
Can I start the introduction, or we're gonna
Please,
proceed?
we said 9:10, so I'm ready and just waiting for you, and then I'll switch on my video at 9:15.
Okay, alright.
And video with my presentation. Yeah, I will turn it on.
Yeah, I think I will gonna start the introduction around 9:13 because jumlah participant pun tidak memberangsangkan lagi. So I will invite them and then yang mana yang mana peserta yang sudah ada yang sudah masuk ke dalam sesi ini, anda boleh maklumkan kepada rakan-rakan anda juga untuk invite diorang masuk ke dalam sesi webinar ini. So saya akan start introduction pada pagi ini pada jam 9.13. So saya harap anda semua bersedia untuk mendengar taklimat yang akan diberi oleh Encik Zahir Mustafa. Okey, saya akan kembali pada jam 9.13. Start. Okey, Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi kepada penceramah kita dan juga peserta yang hadir pada hari ini. So, saya Muhammad Anin Nazrin bin Muhammad Faridi dan saya akan menjadi host anda pada pagi ini. So, apa-apa pun saya nak ucapkan selamat datang ke Visual Career Fair for UPNM students. So, webinar yang akan diadakan pada pagi ini adalah tips penulisan resume. Okey, kepada sesiapa yang tertanya-tanya bagaimana nak janakan resume yang berkualiti, inilah sesinya dan kami berikan kepada anda semua. So, di setiap program mesti ada peraturan. So, peraturan di dalam webinar ini, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan hendaklah silentkan dan juga mute mikrofon anda supaya tidak mengganggu taklimat yang akan dijalankan oleh penceramah kita pada pagi ini. So, di akhir sesi nanti sebelum peserta keluar daripada room ini, saya akan sediakan QR code untuk tuan-tuan dan puan-puan sahkan kehadiran dahulu dan baru dibenarkan untuk keluar daripada meeting room ini. So, webinar yang akan diadakan pada hari ini terdapat 3 slot. Yang pertama, slot tips penulisan resume jam 9 pagi hingga 11 pagi dan kemudian tips temuduga berkesan jam 11 pagi hingga 1 petang dan webinar yang terakhir iaitu jam 2.30 petang hingga 4.30 petang akan membincangkan berkenaan dengan Get Your Dream Jobs by Understanding what employers look for, iaitu berkenaan dengan pandangan majikan terhadap sesetengah golongan. So, tanpa kita membuangkan masa lagi, saya perkenalkan kita punya penceramah pada pagi ini iaitu Encik Zahir Mustafa yang akan mengupas topik berkenaan tips penulisan resume. So sir, I will pass this floor to you and then anything good luck sir. And kepada para peserta, sila memberikan tumpuan dan try to take what goods for your better future. Alright sir.
Hi, thank you for the introduction. So I will not introduce myself as in my own portfolio, but as I go forward, I like to just check few things. First and foremost, is everybody able to see the screen that I am trying to share on the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so the screen would be the fundamentals, right? Resume writing 101 fundamentals. Are you able to see that, or are you seeing blank screen with my windows?
Just your windows, sir.
Just my windows. Okay. Let me check. How about this one now? I think it should be right.
All
Yes,
right. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay. So let's begin. Assalamualaikum. Good morning, everybody. So I would like to first ask everyone, did you have your cup of coffee? So
No, sir.
no, right. So the best part about Visual Career Fair or visual meeting is that you're at your own house and you can have your coffee.
Okay.
All of you, relax, enjoy. This is not a lecture, and I am definitely not someone who's boring. And we'll take you through something that is known or unknown. Few of the things you may know already. But I'd like you to take this session as a discussion and definitely someone who's just trying to share his expertise. Just a very little bit about myself. I'm a Malaysian, of course. But first impressions, people get that I am not Malaysian. I don't know why. Probably is the name or so. But I'm very much anak Malaysia. And although my father is not Malaysian, my mother is Malaysian. I was born here and I was brought up in different places. So I may speak a bit dengan accent. So that also bukan salah saya. So kalau you don't understand atau tak paham, just write down your questions. And at the end of the sessions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Okay. As for my qualifications, I have 2 degrees, and one of them was law. And this is relevant for you to know because I am not doing law. And that's also for all of you out there. You will understand as I go through that your final studies or whatever that you have done is not necessarily where you will end up in your life. So that's the reason why I'm saying this. So without further ado, enough about myself, because you'll find my resume and my link somewhere else if you want to know more about me. But now, why we are all here? Let's get started for that. In my presentation, and as we go through this, discussion forum, if you like, if you have any questions, just raise your hand or put it at the end. But during that, I will be asking a few questions as well. Feel free to just jump in and answer. I'm welcome anybody in this interactive session. All right, let's start. So the fundamentals is important, as I will show you some basic things, and do's and don'ts will also be there. They are not highlighted as do's and don'ts because that would be really boring, and you'll just probably screenshot that and keep that in mind. So that's the reason why I don't put it like that. Let's go through. I'll tell you what I'm going to get you all in the journey today. So there's a section to the 4-point section. Section 4 is an activity, but this usually happens when I am physically present there and I can conduct and facilitate the following. We can try to do them before, but if we have time, it's not really important. But factoring is it's a bit fun. So that's why I have activities throughout the modules that I have put forward here. So let's start all of this. So let's just go here. All right. So introduction to resume writing 101. First of all, it is essential for us to know what is a resume. And a lot of you will be shocked because there is something called CV, curriculum vitae, so to say, right? So let's start. An advertisement of you. That's what a resume is. A snapshot of who you are and your personal, professional, educational, and work qualifications. Well, it is about your future, not your past. So a lot of people say that, but it's about what I did before as well. You'll understand what I mean by that as we go through. Now, an objective of a resume, not your objectives in a resume, is to get the interviewer to read your resume and call you for an interview. As simple as that. It demonstrates whether you are fit for the job that you are applying for. And it's also important for us to know what is not a resume. It is not an autobiography or a confessional or a testimony of yourself. You do not have to tell everything. This is the most important thing I want you all to know today and at the very start. A resume is for you to tell what is relevant in your life. So you tell the truth, but you don't have to tell all the truth. But don't lie. So not telling something is not lying. Just get that clear, and I'll explain as we go through. But do not ever lie, because once you're caught, you're gone, and that does not bring good credentials and credibility for yourself. So I'm someone who's not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of someone who likes to fabricate and extend and exaggerate either. But it's always good to market yourself. So that's what I said. Relevant information. You can choose to withhold information, but you cannot fabricate or lie. That is not acceptable. So it is not going to get you the job. It is going to get you the interview. So how you do in the interview will be in the next session that to come from my fellow colleague who will be helping you with that. But I'm going to help you with having the first entry level. So I mean, this is your ticket to go to the concert. But what happens in the concert, whether you are going to end up singing or not, or getting the job as a star, that would be different, right? So resume doesn't get you the job. And when berapa cantik ke apa ke, you're not going to get the job, because it depends when you're speaking to the person. Then they will know that, okay, this is a resume that probably that person didn't write or somebody wrote it for them, but they cannot even know what is in their resume and does not reflect when they speak about it. So that's what's important, right? So what about profiles? Kita kan ada Facebook profile, ada LinkedIn profile, banyak profile. Itu bukan resume ke? Okay, let's just say. So LinkedIn and other social profile be it professional or not, because LinkedIn is a professional profile, a Facebook for professionals apparently, but it's still not a resume. I highly recommend that you should have a LinkedIn, but first you should get a resume, because even LinkedIn tells you to have a resume first, because not everybody can get online, and resume is something that can be printed and passed on. So that's why you need a resume. Now, I told you at the very start, at a CV and all that, and I was just always talking about the resume again. So let's just see, just to understand the differentiation between the two, a resume, parler du français in French, and curriculum vitae is actually Latin, which means your life course, your whole life history, and resume in French, summary. So things that you need to know, very simple ones. The length, or the weight, the one would want to say, between the two, is that in the US it can go up to 2 pages, back and front, or etc. But usually they prefer one, very Americanized, and I'll tell you the difference as we go through. Europe 2 pages, but Asia, where we are, maximum 4 pages, because even we can't go through that. We are very detailed oriented people, being Asians, but even we don't like more than that. And curriculum vitae, US is 4 pages maximum, Europe is subjective, Asia is subjective, and the reason being is that they can be up to 18 pages, 20 pages, as it's a course of your life, right? So it's not an autobiography at the extent, but it requires a lot of information, to the point of where you probably want to put height, weight, and etc. And grades, so your report card grades, and everything practically. So content of a resume includes relevant, the keyword being relevant, work and education, and other information. And here is it's your education and work history in totality. Usage, resume is always because of a job, usually. And curriculum vitae, CV, for fellowship, grants, academic or medical scientific positions. And in some cultures, you'll be surprised, even for marriages, they use CVs. Yeah. All right. So we're moving forward to the different types of resumes that there are. Now, this is a very favorite part of my, airplane or a aircraft vehicle that I like personally. And one of the reasons is because it is an aircraft that can turn into a helicopter and then into a plane. So the propulsions at the top can go up and down depending on the situations. It turns into a helicopter because it wants to hover. But we're not here for that. The reason why I put this picture is because that is a functional resume. And you can see pictures of engineers here, etc. Now, this is because the functional resume presents skills and experience without putting them in a sequential date, right? Doesn't matter whether it's your last job first or your present job first. It doesn't matter. It's just, it puts your skills and experience first, and you'll see what I mean. And the order doesn't matter, like I just mentioned, right? Second one would be the typical one, the conventional one that we use is in chronological. It's the most common one, and it is always listed in reverse order. So you would want to present your present job if you're working, or if you're a student, that's the highest one. And a lot of you are engineering students, I reckon. You probably would have your internship going on, and you have completed it, I hope. And that is what's important for you. And it is most widely used, right? So yeah, that's that. That's a resume in chronological order. Third, and not the least, is my personal favorite, is the hybrid resume, because it begins with functional summary of the most relevant qualifications, key abilities, and so on. But it gives a short chronological history as well. Now, the 3 different types are used in various scenarios, yeah, and it matters which one would best portray your abilities and skills that you want to showcase. Now, why do I need a good resume? You might be asking. Let's just say, this is from a fact, right? So let's just say statistically 1,000 people, people have posted for the same job posting. 200 will begin the application process, right? So 1,000 people saw the job, but only, sorry, did I say 2,000? I'm sorry. 1,000 job people saw it, and from there, 200 will begin the application process. And out of this 200, 100 will complete the process. And from that 100, 75 will not be qualified. And that means 25 would probably be screened by the hiring manager. And out of that 25, 4 to 6 will be called in for the first interview. And from that 4 to 6, 1 or 2, 3 people will probably go through the second interview, and then the decision will be made to get you for the job. So you can see how many people go through so many things just to end up to you getting selected for the job. Now here, exactly, there is also a lot of other factors that go in. We have advanced in technology to the point where the resume selection itself will be done through a system that will take in key in words and so on and so on. Right. So I will move on to the other section, which is the strategy portion. But before that, I will pause for you all to ask me any questions that you may have. Okay. Any questions?
Okey, jika terdapat apa-apa soalan, peserta boleh unmutekan mic untuk bertanya soalan directly kepada Encik Zahir. Terima kasih.
Okay, so I will take that as no questions. No worries. Still probably you're warming up. I'm having my coffee. I would also suggest please do have your coffee. I'll move on to strategy that you need to start on with your resume and how you want to get it. So now that we have a basic understanding of what exactly is a resume. Now, this is where the real fun begins. Yeah. The structure of a resume and the content distribution is where, what, and how much it really matters, right? Let's start with your personal details and other information. That would be 10%. You'll put in, no matter how many, 3-4 pages, the 1 page, just 10% of that should be inside that resume content. And then academic qualification, macam 20%, it will take up the space and how much you can get in. Then would be your work experience, 40% of the resume should have that much of the content. Then we come to achievements, which is from either your academic achievements or your work experience. Now, your achievement is not the fact that you passed your exams and you've completed your degree. Your achievement would be that you completed your degree and you're in the dean's list. Now, that's your achievement, you see. That's how we look at achievements, and I'll get into that as well as we go further. That should be around 30%. So a good 70% is gone, and then 30, 100, you should be done, right? Now, all of this, the part that I want to focus on and for you to understand is the relevance of the content on the 100% that you have just seen, right? Personal details is personal details. It's going to be the same because, your phone number, where you stay, and then the relevance of where you're applying from, whether, the details that would share exactly personally who you are and whether you are physically fit, like, you have the transportation, you do have a driving license, if this job requires you to move around. So that's just that. So it's going to be the same. Academic qualifications and others would be 15%. So all the 20% space will be taken, but 50% is relevant. Yeah, because they really just want to know whether you finished your degree or not, and whether it's really done or not, and whether your degree might be relevant to the job that you're applying for. Work experience, 40% is the content, yeah? And 25% is only the relevance of your work experience. If it's 25% relevance, then why does it take 40%, and why is it, that's what a resume is actually for, can? Not really, actually. The achievement portion, although 30% is the content that it takes, it actually is 50% relevant to the entire resume. Now you're going to go like, okay, so how do we put the achievement, and what exactly distinguishes the achievement from my job experience or my any experience that I carry? And that might be a point of panic, I guess, between all of you. If what is this man saying, and what exactly is he trying to say, right? So let me just get the chat over here. Yeah, okay. Right. So this is where we are, and let's move and say for you to understand exactly what I mean. Let's move to the content architecture. First page, middle section, and last page. Why I say this is because the middle section can be the number of jobs relevant. So maybe somebody like myself, I have been working for 20 years in career field, professional career field. And I have two pages for the middle section. So altogether 4 pages. My resume is 4 pages. And someone who is probably working for 5 years could all have 3 pages, or maybe even 2 pages, right? But I don't think it would be 2 pages, probably 3 pages. And I'm not talking about back and front, so you know what I mean. Let's just say that we're talking about printing in one side of the page. Now, just for easy understanding, that's what I'm saying, first page, middle section, last page. And within the first page, you would want to put your executive summary, your personal details, your skills, and your academics. Your middle section, no matter how long it could be, just where you want to put your working experience and your achievement, which is achievement kan, 50% relevance. And your last page is where you want to put your extracurricular activities, your miscellaneous, and your other references. So that's what probably the last page is. Doesn't necessarily have to be in such an order. Like I told you, if you're going to go for a US format, everything is on one page. And it's really up to you. So this is the content architecture of the layout and compartmentalization of the resume that is popular in Malaysia. So this is from my expertise as someone who has tailored towards Malaysia. So Resume Writing Malaysia is my enterprise, and that's where my expertise goes through. So this is from my experience being a resume writer, professional resume writer, certified for 15 years. Now, let's move on. The first page, or the first layout of the first page, should contain your executive summary, your personal details, and your skills, right? And academics. So tadi kita kan dah tengok what are the different types of resumes: chronological, functional, hybrid. I said functional first, but yeah, chronological, functional, hybrid. So these are the different types. So chronological resume is the normal one, and it can fall into any sequential, whether you do it functional or hybrid. So you will see that after the first page, I will not talk about chronological anymore, because the design can change of how you want to put in. We will get into the content itself, of course, but how I look at it is, if you are going to build a building, take your resume as a building, right? You know that you have to put, anybody would know, you don't have to be an architect student or etc., that you'll have to first have a very good foundation. And after you build the foundation, then only you know how many floors will the building be. And depending on that, then you'll have to design the building in such a way to accommodate its purpose. So last time you'll remember that government buildings have a certain look, and they're very block and maximizing space and everything. But now government buildings are changing their aesthetics, their looks and everything. They're becoming very attractive because it's not necessary that government buildings have to be very boring and etc. So there's no such thing. And one of the best examples would be, which my pride and joy is in my country, which is also yours. In Malaysia, we have Putrajaya, the administrative capital, and it is, in fact, sometimes even more beautiful than Kuala Lumpur. So you can see that your resume, right? It doesn't have to be very boring, and in fact, you want to attract people, and that's what matters is how you want to lay out your content and gets the most functionality. That's why we're here now, looking at that and understanding. So without further ado, let me just put it forward to you guys, and then you guys will understand what I mean. So executive summary is essentially where you summarize everything that you think that's important before somebody wants to go and turn out to the second page as well. So that's where you want to put your executive summary if you're doing a chronological resume and functional. So that's where you put it in within the first page itself, right? This is the first page of each. The second would be personal details, however, and third would be your skills, and fourth is your academics. As simple as that. So that pop, 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 pop in one page. Bulle, it's possible. I'll show you how. And now we go to a functional resume. So you can see that slightly different, but same. Well, what's the difference between the two? And why does it even matter? You'll see when the content changes and its layout changes, you can do the spacing. You don't have to write it that way. A lot of people might go, this is something we already know. Yeah, if you already know, then how come most of your resumes, that we have seen, and what we have seen is very blockish and very waterfall effect. Yeah, and studies have shown that human beings actually read and functionalize things as Z, and the word Z. So it goes from here to here to here to here. So people like to read like this, like like a Z. Of course, you can read like this as well, up and down, but usually this is how you prefer. And a functional one will do this because it will attract what matters the most. Number 3. So do you notice? 3 is here, 3 is here. So even if this one you want to go like Z, pop, pop, see it comes here immediately without looking at 2 very much. And that's the same thing here. And let's go to hybrid. So basically, if you can notice, number 3, hybrid, this person probably doesn't have that much of skills. Sebab tu, dia punya ni, kotak ni kecil. And who could it be for? Sorry, I think I've lost my camera.
Yes, sir. You lost your camera.
It's back?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Right. So you can see here, right? If you're following so far, that number 3 would be more towards fresh graduates, students, or someone maybe who has been working for 1 year and then they want to change their job. So yeah, you can compartmentalize like this. And functional, let's say an engineer. IR, should IR, cut IR, doesn't. That's a very experienced engineer. 10 years, 20 years. And you are like a mechanical engineer, and then you have electrical specialization, all of this, a lot of things going on. Your skills would be tremendous, and it's so detailed, and you'd want to put them forward in both technical and non-technical, because you could be a senior manager in Petronas, in maybe Charikali and etc. And just an example, a senior manager who has both leadership, managerial skills, and also technical skills. So that's where you'd probably put it for functionality, and that's what the content layout is. Remember how we went through? I just want to bring us back few slides, if you can remember and recall. 4 pages maximum, right? And if you can't, you want to put it in 2 pages. This is why we are here now, trying to understand where we want to lay out our content and how. Because you're not exactly tricking people, but you are trying to maximize what is the most to you. And without being much, towards a bias towards professionals who have years and years of experience. But to be very honest, a fresh graduate who just finished graduate and has internship, to them, what information they would have the most is their self, their personal details. That's what matters more than like me. Look at me. So that's why hybrid, you'll notice, is the longest one, and it looks like it can handle the most, right? Okay. I'll move on to the next one, but I think maybe here there might be questions later, hopefully. So moving to the middle section now. Okay. So working experience and achievements, right? This is what the middle section comprises of. And here in the middle section now, we're talking about like functional and dynamic resumes again. Dynamic is just using another word for hybrid. And here in the middle section, working experience, you can just put in here in such a fashion where you have your work experience and then your achievement. Bawa dia, boleh? Okay, no harm. And in dynamic, you can do it like this. So maybe your achievement is higher to an extent and has more statistical, more qualitative than quantitative. So you can place it like this. So content placement is very important in how you want to market yourself. At the very first, what did I tell you? At the very first start of this presentation, a resume is an advertisement of you. So how you advertise and how you place something in brochures, we all get leaflets, okay? We all get any sort of marketing document, and we move around, whether in the MRT station or something, people pass on pamphlets. Sometimes we look at the pamphlets, we don't even look at it, we just and sometimes the design is as such that when we look at it, we want to look at it even for 2-3 seconds more, and that's why it matters. That's why we are, I'm showing you this now. And the last page essentially is where you want to put in your extracurricular. I think for fresh graduate it matters a lot during their university time when they are doing their academics. Apart just from the 3-year or 4-year program, there are opportunities where they can join the university clubs membership, where they can hold positions like treasurers, or they can represent their university in different fields. And so what I know, like if you're in chemical engineering, there's ICHEMIA, and there are all these other initiatives, government sponsored, and some of them are not privately sponsored, where initiatives about the environment, how they can come up. You know what I'm talking about, right? So there are opportunities. You just don't go to the university just to do your degree, but there are other opportunities for that you should grab. And I would say these are the things that matters a lot. And you don't have it, it's also okay. It's all right. I was a normal student. I mean, I have 2 degrees, so I didn't have the time to study. To participate in a lot of things. I just wanted to get into the subject and use that expertise. So it's all right. It's okay if you didn't. But I would recommend, not everybody wants to do 2-3 degrees and masters and all of that. But when you're doing your degree, and then you don't so far sees the future to do your masters immediately, then I would say that take that chance. Take that chance. Just don't go to the university just to do your degree. To participate more because it matters, and it matters here. And later when you get your job, people will also see, oh, okay, so he's not just graduate, it seems that he has skills, and he has experience managing, being a treasurer, and so he knows how money works and how to save money and use it, and he knows how purchasing. He or she, what I mean is that there's that level that goes, okay, all right. So there's more than just studying. So, but what's the difference between you and someone who is exactly the same? Let's just say, person A and there's person B, both are in the same field and both are fresh graduates and both have exactly same results, same course, same teacher, same university. What's the difference, right? Yes, I can see a few questions. Thank you. I will get to that. No worries. And that section is coming. Sorry, can I just request if you can type your questions in English, because it's easier for me to quickly read. Malay is not really, Bahasa Malaysia is not really my um, you know strong language, although because I never studied here. Okay, so I have my reasons, but I can understand. So in English it's faster. All right, thank you. So getting back to that. So what's the difference between the two of you, right? Semua sama, kan? Let's say even gender is same, but it doesn't matter. Boy or girl doesn't matter. It's the same. We just say that in contrast, there are two guys here and two girls here, and everything about them is same, except the section A, the one I'm giving you in the example, was a treasurer in university. For foreign, maybe they were foreigners, right? So there was like they were in the foreign students committee member, right? So foreign students, and another one was in drama club. University had a drama club. So that versus this, I will choose the one yang ada dekat drama club atau the foreign student. I'll choose them to hire them. Because I'm like, okay, everything is the same, but dia ada benda tu. Although it's not relevant to the job. It's not relevant exactly, right? Your job is what, entry level quality engineer. So what does drama club have to do with entry level quality engineer? I'll tell you what, because it tells that this person is someone who wants to do more, and someone who is willing to go forward and put in more effort. So that's what the difference is. So that's extracurricular activities. Okay, let's get back to the main topic here, and miscellaneous and references. So in a functional resume, you can just put it like this, right? So you have your extracurricular activity over here, and then miscellaneous is, I will get to that, what that means is your preferences, etc., and then your references. All this, jangan risau, I will be showing it to you physically, how it looks in a resume nanti. Okay, this is a bit very blockish and picture not so realistic, right? So, but don't worry. And then here is 7, right? You can put it here, and then here's 8 and here's 9. So extracurricular you boleh buat macam ni, and then miscellaneous just put it there. So, and number 9 references. So what are all this coming? I'm coming to that. Right. Content sizing. Okay, this is the largest and biggest portion of the course today, but I'm going to take you through. Right. Murid. So personal details, yang tadi I tunjuk you, where you want to place your personal details and what you are, what's relevant to you. We always put first name, last name, NRIC or passport. Penting ke? Okay. Age, gender, marital status, religion. I think maybe some of you know that sensitive information. Kenapa nak tahan gender? What's the relevance? No relevance. But some preferences. So usually for teacher, depending on the country's law and also preference, you'll see that teachers for primary school, kindergarten, is always going to be female majority, right? That's also because it's just not an issue for that, and the population or the country's economy, things like that. It depends. Also culture, it depends. So you can put that in. That's why gender matters. So you can put in. Some people have, depending on their own personal religion and culture, then they can have very unisex name, and you can't know whether they are male or female. So I'll give you one example. My father's name is Muhammad Nurul Mustafa. So Nurul tu kan nama perempuan. So but no, it depends because he's from Afghanistan. So they have different culture. So they put their mother's name before their father's name. Tak tahu kenapa. But so that's how they do it. So Nurul Mustafa tu perempuan ke laki. So that's why you put gender, so they can know. Okay, that's one of the reasons. Now, other than that, marital status. Nak buat apa dengan kahwin ke tak kahwin? What does that have to do with my job? No, I'll get to that. So I'll not get too deep into the whole issue of each and every single personal details. Kalau you nak, this is the part I think you start having screenshots of whatever I'm going to show you and teach you, and then share with you, so you can remember what to put in your resume. Okay. So this is why personal details. These are the things you put. Yang yellow, kuning, is you can choose to put tak penting, tapi it will be an added advantage. Okay. Yang merah tu no. Yang hijau tu of course yes, traffic light. Okay. So let me say, kalau marital status tu divorce, apa? I know most of you are students here, but what if not married ke tak tahu, tapi kalau dah cerai, you want to put there divorce? No. You don't want to put there divorce, because divorce tu apa? Divorce tu single lah. So put that single lah. Religion, none of your business. No. Okay. So religion is of course none of their business. Memang orang tak nak tahu apa agama tu ikut. Okay. Tapi here in Malaysia, the reason why people want to know your religion and they want to hire you is not because they have a preference. Tak. It's because Deepawali, Hari Raya, Christmas, semua nak ambil cuti. Tak boleh. Then how the country will run the economy? Okay, so that's why we need to choose people. We need to compartmentalize. We need to see that we have a certain status quo and status quota that we have to be equal in our hiring and our opportunity, and so that we don't look like we are biased in any situation. Okay. Is there a section that you want to show me or you want to tell me? No? Was that an error, maybe? Okay.
Sir, saya nak tanya.
Yeah.
Adakah IC wajib untuk dilampirkan kat dalam kita punya resume, sir?
Okay. Soalan tu memang bagus soalan. Thank you. I would say yes. Di Malaysia, yes. Kenapa? Because some of the companies, definitely government has the ability to check from your national records whether whatever you're saying is true or not. So in situations, I would say that it is good. Kalau you tak pernah masuk penjara, bagilah IC. Kalau pernah kena atau whatever, ada buat salah ke apa ke, tak nak, jangan bagi IC lah. Macam saya, I'll give my IC. I have no problem. Like I cantik. So do that. Put in your IC because your IC will show that, and also some companies have what we say CTOS. Okay, I don't know many people here. They may or may not be familiar with CTOS, But CTOS is a private company that has been in partnership with the government affiliation, that they have the records and they can check whether you have been bankrupt before, or whether you have been imprisoned before, or you have basically your credit line, and how good you are. So in order for that, I am confident and I give my IC for that reason. And our IC is not our national security number, like American social security number, which they can use and they can withdraw things and everything. In Malaysia, IC number is very common and it doesn't really do that, unless you don't want someone to know your age, can. So that shouldn't be a problem, but I would give my IC number. But it's not valid, so that's right. And I put here number green in the color green is because I would say that that's something you want to put in. And if you're a foreigner, yes, please do put in your passport so that people can know you're a foreigner. And if the job does not want to, is not able to hire foreigners, then they wouldn't be wasting, you would not be wasting your time, and the company would not be wasting their time either. So it's very clear cut. If you're a foreigner, you can put that in, and they can hire you if you're. So don't feel bad about that. And Malaysians, yes, please do put in your IC. I personally say please do that because it's good for that, and it shows confidence level. All right. So I hope I have answered your question.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So I'll move on to the next one. So here, mobile, in your contact details, you want to put in your mobile number, of course. Now, residential number, you can put in, which is your home telephone, but I sendiri tak nak. You know why? Because, please give my son the job. I don't like, I have a mother who knows I'm applying for jobs, and then dia angkat, hello, can I speak to Zahir? Tak, ni mak dia, apa? Oh, saya call ni, saya nak interview dia. Oh, okay. Tolong bagilah anak saya kerja tu. Cute things and all of that. So I would not want to give my house number where my house family members can pick up and etc. I would rather give my mobile number personally myself, right? So now if you're in office, you're already working, do you want to give your office number in general line so that when you pick up, your boss pick up and then goes like, oh, hello, I want to speak to Zahir. I say, oh, okay, who are you? Oh, I'm calling from company Y. Company Y tu competitor dengan company saya, company X, kenapa? I just want to talk to him. You don't want to do that, right? So no, internal only. So if you are within your organization, you want to apply, then give your internal extension number, office number, then there's no problem, right? So these are the small things that we often forget, and we are careless sometimes, and that causes us problem. So don't. So email lonely@kawan.com. Janganlah, tolong, jangan. Email ada apa? Ada email macam girlpinky@hotmail.com. Boy na awi. No, sorry. These are the emails yang personal email atau Pokemon, like Pokemon, all this stuff, Doraemon sukasaya.com, all these things. No, just you are applying for a job, and bila kita budak, yes, kita ada email kan, Dragon Ball Z, zzx@gmail.com. Yang ni semua tak payah. Okay, you buat aja email baru. Okay, zahir.mustafa@gmail.com. Mustafa.zahir@gmail.com boleh. Okay, so email tu penting sebab it gives a reflection. I myself personally have been a manager for 12 years, maybe. Like I say, supervisor is already manager level, and in the 12 years experience, I have been really taken aback by some email addresses, and that sort of like really gave me a bad impression about the person. Although the person was qualified, person was everything, and I didn't want to judge, but I felt like that, and that thing, you can't get rid of it. First impression, kan, resume. I did not even see the person, tapi So please, if you have an email that goes like anything like blockbuster movie or change it to your normal name and that's for your own good. Okay, now you can understand. LinkedIn profile kalau ada. Now Facebook, Skype, YouTube. Okay, kalau you tak nak kerja jangan bagi lah. That you'll be unemployed for the rest of your life. Sebab Facebook is an open diary. Okay, dulu kalau you baca diary orang, orang marah. Sekarang kalau you tak baca, orang marah. So how? Yang Facebook tu, Skype and YouTube, all these things tak penting. Skype maybe lah, but you know, to some people they want your Skype ID, but this is when they ask for it. Okay, if it matters for Skype interview, then yes. For things like that, it could be. But usually I know that Skype is social extent and no need, because sometimes you put in your Skype your status, right? And that sort of things where you put your personalization of your status. You know, I'm feeling bad, tak ada mood, emo, and you know, you put your emoticons and etc. Keep it in your personal life and your personal channel and your Facebook, where you know, if you want to put a professional Facebook, there's no such thing as professional Facebook, right? So there is Facebook of professional people or entities, but for your own personal life, where you shout out, feeling down, lapar, nak makan, all this is not important. It's not something for your personal, for the guy who wants to hire you or the person who wants to hire you, dia tak nak tahu. Tapi kalau you nak bagi tahu, okay. Yang tu pasal you. That will be your problem. Your invitation to apa? Unemployment. Memang. So don't do that. Don't cari pasal. Jangan don't put yourself. You are here for apa? For getting a job, right? For putting a resume. These are the things memang yang merah tu that will not get your resume. Yang yellow tu, okay, you jaga sikit what you want to put. Okay, you wanna be careful in how you want to put. That's why I put there yellow, right? Usually, email I put here yellow just to show this. Otherwise, email tu memang penting bagi, because and the other thing is the reason why I'm saying this in yellow is memang you dah hantar kan from an email address. So that's why you don't really have to put your email address there. But I would recommend that do put your email address there, because internally people will be transferring your resume within themselves, and when they see it, they would want to see your email on the resume. Okay, so do that. I think I will, yes, come to the point of somebody who asked me, do I need to put my home address on the resume, and do I need to put picture? I'll get back. Okay. Now for pictures, saya nak tahu, you all can unmute yourself. Choices. Boleh ke pertama? I'm not going to move, someone has to tell me. Yang gambar pertama tu boleh ke?
No, sir.
No.
Betul. Gambar kedua?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, probably.
Probably. Kenapa probably?
Yes, sir. Can, sir.
Okay, can. Gambar ketiga?
No.
No.
No, sir.
Cantik lah.
No.
Okay, no.
Too pretty.
Too pretty. Okay. Gambar ketiga?
No.
Probably yes, sir.
Yes, probably yes. Sebab tu kuning.
Oh.
Betul. Betul. Gambar keempat?
No.
Probably.
Probably
Yellow,
yes.
sir.
Probably yes. Very good. Very good. So, actually, number 2, definitely yes. It is the most professional. Tahu tak dia sebab dia selantik sikit? Tak salah tu. Okay, boleh. Tak payah gambar pasport selalu macam ni. Yeah, it's boring. You can position and you can that's fine, that's fine. Gambar ke yang 4 tu is because the background kan. Yang I guess normally, or because dia tak pakai tie. No, it's okay, it's smart casual. That's how you millennials are dressing these days anyway. Terpaksa kita kena accept kan. Tak apa tak. No, it is perfectly fine, and it's all good. Number 4 is I guess sometimes people may say it's controversial because of the no, but this is Come on, we're living in modern day and age. We don't judge a person by that. As long as it's covered and decent, and I think she's decent. I think she's very well dressed, and I think it shows very good confidence. Kalau lelaki pun pakai baju macam tu, I'm okay with it. It shows a confidence. It's no problem. But usually for female, without collar is okay. But for men, unfortunately, guys, kita kena ada collar. Okay? So this is just the way professional dressing up, because she might be having a jacket, but we do not know how it looks like. So it's okay. It's no problem. It's fine, because this last picture I put on purpose because it could be a resume for a modeling agency, and she's a model. There you go. Right? So it depends. Okay, yes, boleh. Someone requested annotation? No? All right, so there was a question upon, yes, I have that as well. I'll get to that about the references. Now, so do I have to put reference for job experience? Photo. So, right. Now, somebody asked me about the photo again. So, I'm not going to annotate. So, anybody wanted to ask anything about any section here? Anything? No? Okay, why they want to annotate? I'm just going to remove that here. So, the picture in a resume, you can choose. Actually, it's your choice. But 30% chances are better that you do put your picture. Now, in my life as a professional resume writer, and I had situations where people had asked me I was touched actually. I found that very emotional question normally, and I can answer them, but I was taken aback. I'll be very honest. So one student, and she was not a student. She's a fresh graduate. She worked. So she says that I don't want to put my picture. I said, why? I'm not good looking. I feel that it will not give me a job. So what I told her was this. If you don't put your picture and they called you for the job and you got the interview, during the interview, the person who did not like how you looked 1 hour talks to you and judges you, and probably talks to you in such a way that you felt very, very demoralized. Compare that to you dah bagi gambar you dalam resume, dan orang sama yang jahat tu ada tengok you punya resume, then they was like, tak cantik, pun tak ambil. Which one you prefer? Of course, the second one lah. Memang orang jahat tu nak tengok gambar you, nak ambil hire on looks kan. So the person wants to hire on looks. He's going to hire on looks anyway. So you're not going to get the job. But then when they don't hire on looks, and then they brought you on for the interview, and during the interview doesn't behave properly or makes you feel horrible about yourself, it's better that you just show your picture, and people who are stupid enough, to judge you for how you look are not going to hire. You shouldn't be working for that company anyway. Betul ke tak? Guys, I'm asking all of you.
Right.
Do you want to work for a company that's going to hire you for your looks?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Right. So put your picture. If you think you're not good looking, it's okay. The company is the stupid one who wants to look you because they think they're modeling agency atau manager yang gatal. So it's okay. It's better that you don't want to work for that. Sebab when you work for that sort of company, you are not showing your qualifications. You're not earning anything. You're just there for your looks, and you're not going to go far in life because everybody will age eventually. It's only the intelligent people who will go past looks because their brains are working, right? So the thing about looks, my dear students, is presentation. So you can be very good looking or you can be very ugly according to however you yourself think you are. But if you do not dress yourself properly, if you do not show how smart you can be, then you are ugly in the inside. So that's my take about pictures, right? So I'm going to say this. Maybe you people are not going to ask me this question, or maybe you have in your heart. But I feel it's important to spend some time here to let you all know that looks really don't matter when it comes to work, but really matters when it comes to boyfriend girlfriend lah. Okay, that matters lah. But when it comes to work, no, it doesn't matter. Because then you're not having an affair with your job, kan? Okay. So the other question was address, postal address. A very good question. Thank you for asking that. Not necessary. So I myself personally put my address on the resume because I want them to know where I live, not my condo, my apartment, and no. Sebab I want to know the area. So if I'm going to apply for a job in Putrajaya, don't put your address lah. Because maybe they will go like, he stays in Kuala Lumpur dan dia nak kerja dekat Putrajaya. So don't put your address because they do not know how you want to drive, but eventually they will ask you where you stay. But that is a precognition of judgment, kan? So I usually put in my address anyway because that's the same question macam yang tadi tu. You gambar pun you want put, you don't put. It's information to know. I see same. So I think I answer your question. It's up to you. But in Malaysia, we don't have a problem unless you're in that situation. Your address is in your IC. Your address is Johor, and maybe you live in Johor and you're applying job in Kuala Lumpur. So maybe you're applying job in Kuala Lumpur and you will be shifting to Kuala Lumpur prior to getting that job. So I would recommend, if that is the case, when you're going to travel, don't put your address. Because eventually the company doesn't know yang you are going to shift in your future life and your planning unless you will see the last section. Ada juga, I have something for you there. So it is subjective and you will know why. I will answer that question here. It's written in it's here in the presentation nanti. Okay. Again, I have here, saya nak tanya jenis resume bergantung pada semasa ke atau kepada jawatan apa yang kita hendak mohon. Okay, I will answer that question later. It is too long to talk about here. Okay, that's not for me. All right. I have read your question and I will answer it, but I cannot answer it right now because it will take time, right? So that one I'm parking in my questions. Yes. All right. So I will proceed. Thank you for your time. Now, the next section is here, and this is where we are talking about skills and linguistics. So sorry, I just want to pause for a while. Does anybody have any questions for the earlier one after I said about the pictures and everything in that section? Ada ke? Sebab I just want, before I move to this section, apart from that question about what type of resume, about current experience, and what position we apply for, from that, any questions, guys?
Tak ada lagi, sir.
Tak ada kan?
No,
Okay.
sir.
So sekarang masa dah berapa? We're at 10:16, so we would say 1 hour has passed, and so. Do you people want to have a short 5-minute, 10-minute break? I know you're not on video, so some of you can stop on the video and pretend lepas tu pergi toilet atau merokok. Sebab tak ada video, that's okay. But just you want a break from this mental break, whoever is paying, outrageous attention. Hello, can I ask the attendants to ask this question whether they want break or not, and I can give them a 5 minutes break before I proceed.
For me, it's okay for we to take 5-minute breaks, but kita perlukan jawapan juga lah daripada candidate sama ada mau proceed ataupun want to have a break. Macam mana peserta semua?
Up to you, sir. Whether you want to have the break or not. We okay.
I am seeing so many students, but only one very, very nice and very nice student who is answering questions. So can I hear more voices? I want to be fair to everybody as well. So anyone?
I think it's okay, sir. If you want to continue or to take 5 minute break.
Okay. So I think some of you might be shy. So just to give that logic, I can give you 5 minutes break, and I will then we will start and the presentation about this size. We're talking about sizing so far, and whoever has questions, please type in your questions in this same 5 minutes, and I will answer them. I already have a separate note here for the questions, and I will answer. So in the 5 minutes, let's use it. So whoever is not taking break can go through the presentation earlier and or recollect and write the questions. Okay. So I personally giving you guys 5 minutes breaks, and I will start again and in 5 minutes time or less. Okay. But I'm just doing that. That's fine. We will begin in a short while. Hello, I'm back. Okay. So, everybody, are you back? Can we start?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you may.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes.
All right. So let's begin. So we're here in sizing skills and linguistics, professional skills and linguistics. So linguistics means language, and here in Malaysia, of course, we are quite multilingual, right? Now, please pay attention on this side of the table that I've shown you. Yang last section, average tu tak penting. So don't do this exact thing when you put in your resume. Don't put it average. The average is for me now just to show you something. Okay. So don't put this. Okay, big no. Okay, so let me actually make it very obvious. Okay, this section do not put in your resume. Okay, right. So now let's begin. Professional language proficiency. So 1 being worst and 10 being best. It's important that you put in this, and you put in spoken, reading, and written. Okay, because I myself, for example, okay, know few of the languages here. I can my Arabic is 5. Okay, I can speak, I can read, but my written is 2. Okay, so myself, my writing is not that good. My fiance, she's from Palestine, so she's teaching me, and I'm getting better at that. Hopefully, when I get married, and I can learn even better. But for now, it's still that level. And my point here being is that when you put this in, you can buat sendiri dulu dalam Excel and table and see your own average. Kalau kurang dari 5 atau 6, okay, tak payah. Don't have this in your resume. Jangan ya. Okay, so this one no need. Because the average is 4. So kalau tahu ke tak apa, it's no point. The reason why you want to put the language and linguistics section is because you want people to know that you can speak, and that could be an added advantage for the job. Okay, so like personally, I know how to speak Hindi. All right. However, I do not know how to read or write. So that's the reason why you put here macam ni dash. So a lot of us here in Malaysia, we know how to speak Mandarin probably, right? Non-Chinese, of course, we know how to speak Mandarin, but we do not know how to write, or we do not know how to. We don't know how to read, or we do not know how to write. So put dash, macam ni. Tapi spoken you can put 8 lah. Okay, so you might be fluent, right? Ni hao ma hao and stuff like that. Tapi when it comes to writing, wo bi tao. Okay, so that's how it goes. All right. Bahasa Malaysia, okay, you can put in like this. All good. So this is an example. So any questions for the language section before I proceed? Any clarifications required?
Adakah adakah lagi proper untuk kita letak dalam bentuk simbol ataupun numbers ah?
So for Hindi, this one, yeah, you just put in the symbol. That's fine. Yeah.
Alright.
Don't put the number. Don't put number 0.
Okay, noted, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good question. Good question. All right. So professional skills, very important. Okay. And also a short game. So technical and non-technical. This is the classification you want to put. Tadi yang murid-murid yang pay attention tadi, atau at the beginning of the presentation, I mentioned in the layout, content layout tadi kan. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Okay, I know. At the very beginning, the layout, I said that there's a skills point, and that is always on the
Yes.
first page. Yes, thank you. First page. So Microsoft Excel, Outlook, if you have a lot, then just put the MS Office Suite. Tapi for students, I would recommend pecahkan. Let's break it up into MS Word, MS Excel, MS Outlook, MS PowerPoint, MS Access, MS Projects, MS apa Money. There's only so many Microsoft application kan. Bagus. And if you know non-Microsoft also lagi apa? Google Sheets, Google Doc, LibreOffice. These are all important. Those of you who are doing computer science and computer engineering, you should know this. Operating system, Microsoft Windows, Linux, Fedora, ada banyak. So just put that in. So basically, bahagian-bahagian semua benda komputer, bukan untuk kita pakai komputer, tapi benda komputer, software semua, letak di sini. Tak semestinya benda tu kena juga relevan dengan komputer. Ada benda yang technical pun yang bukan kita kena pakai komputer. So for example, I would suggest, I think if I'm not mistaken, people from medical science, as in who's studying medical science, and people who are studying mechanical engineering, you may be able to, also kimia, you would be familiarized and you would be using instruments, right? So technical instruments and the application of those instruments are also relevant under technical, okay? And non-technical is all about methodology, and it's all about process, and it's all about management. So there you can see here in the example here that I'm trying to show, customer service, client management, resume writing, interpersonal skills, Six Sigma, engineering students, you should know this. If you don't, kesian. Six Sigma, and then project management, and then training. So these are just few very simple words that I put in. Let's play a game, okay? Conflict management. Mana? Technical or non-technical?
Non-technical.
Oh, you say so. Betul. Operating a forklift.
Technical.
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 Betul. Operate forklift yang mesin tu. Okay. Computer assembly.
Technical.
So, creative writing.
Non-technical.
Technical.
Siapa kata technical? Non-technical. Software installation.
Technical.
Technical.
Betul. Okay, good. Sekarang ni, my presenting virtually. Technical, non-technical. What I'm doing right now.
Non-technical. Technical.
Non-technical. I know it's confusing. That's why I said this question last and I didn't show it here. Technical, remember I said using the software. So I said presenting virtually. Non-technical. It's non-technical. I know it's a bit confusing. So I don't blame the person who said technical, but good try. All right? So
Non-technical.
non-technical, yeah, it's non-technical. That's it. All right, so I'll move on to the next one now, okay? Sizing, academics and certification. So I guess this is quite important for you guys here, this section. Now, here in academics and then here in certifications, we'll get to that. Certifications, I mean professional certifications. Some of you may not have this right now, but that's okay. Now, I'm putting in this way. You can also put in reverse order. It's no problem. You can put your bachelor degree first here. Tapi jangan put the arrow down lah. Your arrow should be the opposite side also, kan? So you have to grow this side or this way, okay? So, Maria Junior High Science College, 2000-2003, this is the high school. Any degree or masters, you can go to that extent. I'm just showing you here. All right. So here, in this here is a timeline format. So you can put your certification. So this is customer satisfaction excellence certification in 2008. Lepas tu in 2009, effective communication skills, 2009, and then, again in 2009, There was successful presentation dynamics. You get the idea, right? And emotional intelligence, etc. So some of you students are probably, I'm not sure, but you might have attended conferences. You might have attended workshops during your tenure as a student and finally a student in even in the first year also. And there might be some certification that you receive, right? So put those here. Not certification of attendance to town. No, that's not the thing. Certification as in you are certified because you went to the workshop and it's a qualification you carry. Yang benda, yang knowledge that you can pass to somebody else as something transferable skills. So yang tu yang kita buat sini. Tapi bukan yang I want to dismiss all the things that you attended. No. Those are very important as well. There's a place where you put that all. Yang nanti I tunjuk you, okay? So here I don't think you have any questions, but please remember this box here. When you want to put in your certification, give the name of the institution, the start year and start end, okay? Bulan tak penting, tapi tahun tu memang penting, okay? Name of the course and what type it is. So basically, just don't put there like example, yeah. Don't put there high school. No. So put there. Better you just put there SPM. So that's the certification. So what type is it? You don't have to really mention that, but the better part is that you put in the certification. So name of the school, and then like Mara Junior Science School. Then here you put here Malaysian Certificate Education SPM. That's what you got from the Mara Junior High College, right? So University of Cambridge, you got Certificate of Education in ordinary levels, A levels. So this is what I mean by that. All right. Now, some of you might be asking me, should we put our grades? Remember what I told you? Dalam resume, you can choose to reveal some information and you can choose not to reveal that information, but you cannot lie. Right? So if you want to, like I personally, myself, I'm very open to share one thing. I was not a good student when I was in my primary school, and I was a so-so student in my secondary school, right? But I was an excellent student in my university level, right? In fact, I was first class, first honors in Bachelor of Arts. So I put in my grade there. Tapi yang sekolah punya tu, no, never. I never do that. So what I do is I put macam ni juga. Sama. Tapi last one you see, California State Polytechnic University. Sini you boleh masuk ni CGPA 3.57. Then you can put here awarded Dean's List for every quarter and made it to the yearly President's Honors List. Yay! Boleh? Macam tu. Yang ni semua tak payah. And kan kena kita buat consistency? No, not really. No, that is not that information because your consistency is the level here. Your consistency is very much mentioned here. Yang ni consistency, yang ni consistency, yang ni consistency. So it's okay. Memang ada constant. Tak ada hal. But yang ni yang baru, like extra information. So it's okay. There is no problem in that situation. It's all good. Okay. So if there's no other question, boleh tak saya mula?
Question.
4, 3. Okay, can. Moving forward. Oops. Let me just see. Yeah. All right. So remember, I promise you, you can see everything in one page. This is the page. All right. This is the page. Executive summary. You can put here I know you can't see it properly now, but that's fine. So basically, it's just showing you the executive summary and giving the highlights. So you can say like 20 years experience in customer service industry, and all of that. So your executive summary would be very different being university level, right? So you can say 5 years completed in Bachelor of Engineering. But that's supposed to be 3 years course. No, 2 years I failed. So no, don't put that. Your point here being you want to put the highlights. So let's just say that you graduated and you were in Dean's List. So put it there. There. That's where you put it in. Yeah, this is where you put that in. So you go into your executive summary. Okay. So this is how it may look, and it's a synopsis of your, years of experience and achievements. So those of you who have not worked experience yet, that's fine, but you can put in your university level achievements. So you can go, for those of you who have probably participated in other forms of extracurricular activities and you won. So for example, member of the winning team in Malaysian Engineering Institute for something. I can't come up with anything right now. For I think for university level mechanical robotics fair. There you go. That's something. See? So you can put it there if you want that and you participated. So this is the highlights, right? Now, skills, technical and non-technical, this is where you put it in an example. And then academics, here, that we should, right? So no certifications yet, so just putting the academics. You get it? So those of you who are students, you can see that. And then your personal details, boleh. Saya tak letak gambar sebab gambar you dah tengok. Anyway, so I put here these things. I'm just joking here, so I just go like, name, Eliazar, I see not telling you. So this is my birthday, memang my real birthday. Age, keep guessing. Okay, so these are just jokes. Anyway, address only if you're my friend. I'm just putting here at jokes, but you can get the real information as I told you earlier. So we put these things. So skill linguistics, dah. Now kalau ada certification, letak je lah bawah. So that's where you put it in. So this could be your first page. And now honestly tell me, all of you, is your resume something like this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Yang ada graphic semua ada?
No.
Ada.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's very good.
No.
Very good. So this is, you get the idea that this is the resume, that how you want to put it, but with the timeline and then, the pictures and graphics. So that's good if that's how you're putting yourself.
Sir,
Yes.
nama IC tu kena letak ke?
IC tu bukan tak penting, tapi kalau kalau you nak boleh juga. Saya punya recommendation letak. Boleh tak saya tahu kenapa you rasa benda tu, ada masalah ke? May I know?
Tak, before ni pernah attend juga tapi dia tak suruh letak. Dia kata jangan letak. Penceramah tu kata jangan letak.
Tapi dia kata jangan letak, tapi dia ada bagi sebab ke tak?
Sebab dia kata nanti orang boleh jual.
IC tu orang tak boleh jual. Sebab kalau IC benda, you punya IC number, people can guess anyway. Anybody who is Malaysian, who's not Malaysian, you can just put there, let's just say 9703. You nak jual, you jual aja lah. But the information is not something that it's not PII. You know what does that mean? Personal identification information is information that you combine the three. So for example, orang tu nak jual, and I'm saying this because I have been working for American Express, which is a financial company, for past 7.5 years. So I'm giving you real life knowledge. I'm not guessing, and I'm telling you about fraud. Now, anybody who wants to make a fraud claim and put you in trouble, they will need to require not only your IC number, your real address where you are staying, that means your current corresponding address, and your personal information, something like your middle name or your maiden's name. So all three, your address, your current existing address, your IC number, and maybe your existing email address or existing mobile number. If these three things are combined, then yes, they can sell. So in your resume right now, you are providing your address, you're providing your IC, but you are not providing your existing email address, the one that's your personal email address that you're using. So you could be using a professional email address. So those one of the few things. The information about, let me tell you one more thing, right? If you are putting in all of this information that is your personal information and you're sending it to someone at a job application fair or a job posting, a resume information and all of that, there are job boards online. What makes you think that your information there is not being used in the first place? We all are susceptible to fraud. Fraud can happen, but as long as there is no transaction with the money and how it happened with your signature and your personal verification, then you are not the one who did it. So either way, if you are going to become a victim of fraud, then you are going to become a victim of fraud. I have not been ever a victim of fraud, and all my life I have put in my IC number, and the reason I have done that is because I want to get the company that I'm applying for to use CTOS, because they use CTOS. An example would be a lot of students, although you are students, but you all can be working as well. So there are working students who are working professionals who have worked before, but they are doing their degree now. And that can be the case when they're applying for jobs. People do put in their CTOS, which is I don't know, those of you who know what is CTOS, you can put it in. I'm putting in the chat now for everybody to find out what is it. It is CTOS, CTOS. Okay. So they can do the verification and they can find out all about your credit history, about your finance. So that's why I said, kalau IC tu boleh letak, kalau nak letak you tak ada hal, tapi kalau you rasa you tak nak letak, tak payah letak. So that's my answer. If you feel it is subjective. I will not say penting kena letak. I never mention it. But for me, I have no problem putting my IC and providing my IC number to anybody. I have no problem, because I know how the system works, and I have, I'm not someone who can be easily fooled by someone who wants to fraud me. So I have been called by many people, and I have been a scam member as well. So there's no problem. Right. So I am going to move. Thank you for reminding me. So I'm going to move on, but I hope I have answered that question very clearly. Thank you. Now, academic certifications and academic, I'm done this part, right? So good. So I'm going to talk about working experience, and I'm also going to talk about, this is real, by the way, okay? And I'm going to talk about how to put that in. So just to take a step back, now this is before. So when I was in American Express, and this is a position before the position that I was in. I retired. Sorry, I got retrenched and left the company as an instructional design manager. But before that, I was a knowledge manager. When you write down your work experience, if it's relevant to you, I would suggest, and those of you who have done internship, please use words that are in present tense. Present tense. So lead, manage, apply, establish. You see that? Perform, provide, streamline. Bukan led, managed, applied, established, streamlined, provided. No. I'm making it, obvious. It's present tense. So reason why a resume is because, yes, you had done that before, but your experience is still going on. You did not die. You're still alive. So your skills are still with you. And what you did is here in this tenure, here, June 2012, 2014. This is the present. This is already looking at the time. So that's the key factor here. Sebab yang orang tu yang nak baca, bila dia baca, dia akan tengok ni 2012, 2014, and then this is what they did. So that you are exactly going zoom into that timeline, into that snap, and at that time they want to see what was present, and it's not like what you did and then you forgot. It is something that plays psychology factor. So take that from me, do that. The other factor here in purple I've highlighted is how I broke it down. So a lot of people will go like, led an international team of 9 members supporting knowledge management following Asia Pacific countries such as Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Thailand, and Singapore, India, No, break it down and put it in that way, in a points form, and put it down so that it's really accentuated and it's profound. It's established, it goes out, okay? Now, other thing is that use the thing where it's important when you see, after apply, you go Six Sigma methodology. And then here would be like, again, I repeated down here, and led Six Sigma project. So I made that Six Sigma, banyak kali I dah repeat. But the thing is that I didn't repeat in the same place. But where it's applied in different situations, I did that because you want the person who's reading it to get in their head that yes, okay, he got, okay, fine. If it doesn't sound like a parrot, but still, it's like the important factors are there, and it's subliminal, and the messages are being sent. Now, this section, this is still in one page of the same resume that I showed you earlier, second page, yang middle section too. This is factor, achievements. Tan kadi I told you, 50% relevance is on achievements. So, look at this part. Yang ni job JD. Orang okay, baiklah. Okay. Jadi apa you buat sana? So, this is all I just said. This is what I was supposed to do. This is what they hired me to do. But when this is what they hired me to do, and this is what I did. I improved case management efficiency by 20% in the first 3 months by taking up the role. I eliminated backlogs in the 5th month in the leadership role. I spearheaded Echo Singapore projects. I completed New Zealand and Australian revisions, and I optimized the Echo content to 80%. And previously what I did, I performed COPQ analysis and did a saving of $2 million per annum. I successfully led a project in completing new accounts and the migration from Hong Kong to KL Kuala Lumpur Global Service Center, KLGSC. All of this here, what I just told you, are achievements, and all of this are bold and bold. All of this all comes to what effect? This is what makes people go, wow. That is the wow factor in your resume. So your achievement is what you did, not what you were hired to do. Please take this back with you. Your achievement is important in your resume because that's how you highlight what you did instead of what you do. Yes, a car salesman is hired to sell cars. If he does not sell, he's supposed to sell at least 5 cars in a month. And if he doesn't, then he doesn't take back home any commission. So I've been selling 5 cars a month. No, I've been selling all my life, on an average, I've been selling 15 cars per month. So you can put that as I sold 15 cars on average per year. Like that. That is your achievement. Okay? Now, the same thing as before, I'm going to go through and rush by because it's the same. This is just to give you an idea of resumes and how it looks like. And, whether this section of yours is like this, then that's good. But please do make it very obvious what you're trying to say. So you put your professional experience and your achievements in such a way. Use different colors. Okay. So this is the name of the company. And then this is the position. It's smaller. Position should be slightly smaller than that in your font. So fonts play a big deal on the sizing of the fonts. That is what factors in the layout of the content. So the tenure I already mentioned, put it in italics. It will be also good. Then just the same way. See, this is a real person's resume, by the way, but I'll not mention the name. And then this is how you put in their achievements on the right section here. That being said, I will just, sorry, just rewind a bit. You can also put the logo of the company, right? So this looks nicer if you've been. So those of you who did your internship, go ahead, put the logo as well. Now, remember I told you all the attendance section yang kita dah buat? Yeah. So in the attendance section where you had your curricular activities kan, yang extracurricular activities. So from there you can put in here. This is where you matter. So what was your role? You were a participant, you were a school reporter, member, AJK, all of this. And what was the activity or the institution where you did it? Yang ni semua sini. This is important. So you all, yang student, sekarang dekat university, dekat sekolah, bila sekolah, kan, whatever you did, letak sini. Memang penting. This is where yang you punya resume akan berisi. Yeah, it will have the body and the weight. So this is optional. It's good to have. And those of us who are 20 years, 30 years experience, we don't put this anymore because it's not really the factor in. So for you guys, this is important. I would say go ahead and put it in. Okay. Excuse me. So I think I've covered this section. I'm going to go to the last section of your resume. Now this is miscellaneous. Now this is really in the last page, right? So here you put in, you know, you are willing to travel. And somebody asked me about salary, I think, right? Question. So here I would say salary, about salary. If you, like me right now in this COVID situation, I have been retrenched and I got my 7.5 months payout they gave me and everything because it's not my fault, right? The company couldn't afford to keep me. So I'm okay. And being that said, I tak letak I punya salary. Tak. Sebab I am okay to work for any salary in this situation. So when they call me and they speak to me and they know my value, then they can tell me how much they can afford me and etc. But let's just say, and for you people who are fresh graduates, no. Do not put your expected salary. Okay? Because you are just graduates and you should know you should go to JobStreet, you can do your research and you can find out what is an expected salary. So when the conversation starts about salary and what is your expected salary, you can just say that I'm fine with going through what is in the market's current rate, that situation. But those of us who are experienced and who are going to be headhunted, probably from another company who wants us to join in, there I would say go ahead and put your salary and put in your expected salary. So sometimes you don't, I put here current salary, expected salary. I usually, what I do for myself is I do mention last salary, okay, if for people. So the reason why I put my last salary as an experienced person is because they can know that, okay, whether they can afford to hire me or not based on my last salary. But I don't put my expected salary. Those of you who want to put your expected salary, notation is do not put more than 30% because that's when they will not hire you. The highest you can ask for is 30% bump up from your current salary. That is a factual information. How I know human resource development, etc. So, so work experience, we don't have any work experience in professional, so we include in. This is a very good question. So I've been asked now whether for you students you have experience or not, but I did mention, so I do not know whether Aina, you were present or not, but I don't mind repeating. Students do not have work experience. Obviously, nobody hires people only with work experience. Students are also going to get hired, but students do have internship. So those of you who have gone through courses with internship, please mention your internship as your work experience. Those of you who do not have internship as a program and did not go through internship, do not put in your work experience section. That entire section will not be relevant, so do not put that in. That's all. It's as simple as that. But your other details, your professionalism, your certification, all will apply. And even the last page will apply. Does that make sense? It's as simple as that. It doesn't matter. Your work experience matters if you have. So what I mean to say is that, please note this. if you do not have your internship as well, that's not a problem, but you have work experience during your school days or during your college days where you have part-time job, right? Put that in. So I myself personally, when I was in university and when I was doing my Bachelor of Arts, I was working. I was working in a call center. So I put that in my as my job experience. Okay. All right. So we are almost done here. I will continue to the last page. So your references, I put here as an example. Okay. Should be your immediate supervisor, immediate manager, previous supervisor, previous manager. But for you people, I would recommend college or university leavers put in your your lecturer. So you might have a home lecturer or any of your lecturers in your subjects that you've done well, and do ask them please before you put them in. What is acceptable? Your colleague, your dotted line manager, also your client business partner, if you don't want to put your manager. So in my experience, I had very bad manager at one point. So I wanted to change my position. I didn't put the manager as my reference. So I know that manager will not give and is waiting for me to get out. So internally, I gave my colleague, which is same level as me, or a different manager who worked with me. Okay, and even my director, who is above my manager, I gave her as a reference as well. So you can do that. What is not acceptable? Family member, friends, and committee members. So you in your work, but you give your your reference as you know some dato, so you just give the reference. That ada relevance. Then no, then it will actually put you in trouble. So there's no such thing as character references. That is not the situation here. And available upon request. No. Big no. No. No way. Haram. If I can. Do not do that. That is very rude for resume. Do not put available upon request. Because they want to know how much you can be confident about giving your references. Available upon request means like, okay, I don't want to request you because I don't want to hire you, so I don't even care. Thank you for wasting my time. So that is sort of attitude that comes in upon that. So I would say definitely not. That is not advisable in this kind of state. Okay, so that all said, you can see here a picture, right? So available upon request, and they would probably go like, no, do not hire him at all while you're in an interview. Don't do that. So this is how a last page can look like. An example, right, from another situation that gives you a good picture. All right. So I am actually done. There was an activity, but I don't think that we have the time to do that activity, and also that the virtual situation and the infrastructure will not get us to do the activity. I am honored to have had this time to share with you my knowledge and my expertise. I hope that I can probably answer your questions. You can email me, of course, your questions. I will be more than happy to take that. And let me show you my email address at the end of this section, which is here. Although it's not going to listen to me now, but I will address it here. There you go. This is my email address. All right. So I want to thank you all for your time and your concentration and giving me this opportunity. I feel honored. So take in my email address and ask me the questions for current sessions. I will be happy to answer them when I can, and usually respond very fastly. Yes, thank you. That is my email for that. So I'm going to pass it back to you. Thank you so much for that. So stopping the sharing session.
Okay, alright. Thank you sir for sharing memberi taklimat kepada kami semua. Saya ingin berterima kasih sekali lagi kepada peserta. Dan kali ini saya akan lampirkan QR code untuk tuan-tuan dan puan-puan scan dahulu, dan barulah kita boleh proceed ke webinar yang seterusnya. Sebentar ya. Okey, di sini saya lampirkan QR untuk tuan-tuan dan puan-puan scan dan saya akan pastekan link untuk sahkan kehadiran di ruangan chat. Okey, kepada sesiapa yang dah sahkan kehadiran, okey, saya lampirkan sekejap, maaf. Okey, saya lampirkan link untuk akses ke webinar tips temu duga. Alright. Okey, kepada peserta yang sudah sahkan kehadiran, so tuan-tuan dan puan-puan boleh bolehlah akses ke webinar yang seterusnya seperti mana link yang saya dah lampirkan di ruangan chat. So apa-apa pun saya ingin ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada peserta yang hadir pada hari ini dan kepada penceramah yang sudi untuk mengupas topik berkenaan dengan writing resume. So di peringkat kami ini sahaja dan saya ingin mengucapkan sekali lagi terima kasih kepada Encik Zamir dan peserta yang hadir pada hari ini dan saya ingin ucapkan dan saya ingin mohon maaf jika saya ada terkasar bahasa atau tersilap tutur kata. So saya akan close this meeting room jam 11 suku. So kepada sesiapa yang dah sahkan kehadiran, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan boleh pergi boleh akses ke webinar yang seterusnya. Itu saja daripada saya. Terima kasih.